This is CHH My Radio 580 AM, locally operated, locally owned, your own radio station, My Radio 580 AM, bringing Albertans together.
Hello, good morning, one and all. It's Sunday. It is a little bit rainy outside. Feels like 15 degrees, getting to a high of 23. I'm your host, Big G. I am not the incomparable fire starter, Miss Latoya, or Daddy A, Mr. Alric. See you in the chat, Alric. Good morning from Jamaica. They're out there having some fun times. We are here in the studio. It is Let's Unpack That, where we talk about all the different interesting conversations that we try to unpack here in a safe space, usually brought to you by ReiDefine Wellness. But the ReiDefine Wellness team's not here, so I'm holding it down for them. They'll be back soon from Jamaica, hopefully, with mangoes from my mom's tree that they went and picked on Friday.
And?
Just putting it out there. And Allana is saying she wants some too.
And plantain.
And plantain as well.
Yeah.
Alric, you hear that? Allana said to bring back her plantain. Don't eat it. Bring it back.
The one that ripens on time, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can't bring it when it's ripe. You have to pick it just before it's ripe because it will squash up when it's traveling. You don't want it to get squashed in the suitcase. So you want it just at the right time. So when you get here, you put it down and then it ripe in a day or two, and you're good to go.
Good to go.
Yes. So Alric, pressure is on you, my friend.
Pressure getting worse, man.
That's right. But we got Allana back with us today, as well as Ajibola. How y'all doing today?
Hey, we're doing good. We're doing good.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta get Mike a little closer to you, Allana. Yeah. There you go. There you go. How you doing, Miss Ajibola?
Great. It's a wonderful Sunday morning. Excited to be out and about.
Awesome. Now, Alaric just said that Latoya's over there laughing like crazy.
I hope that's confirmation of our, goods being secured.
Yes.
Secured and traveled it. Yeah. You have any requests from Jamaica, Ajibola?
No, I haven't. I've been to St. Lucia. Yeah, but not to Jamaica. I'm trying to put that for last.
Oh.
Because I don't want Jamaica to spoil all the islands for me.
Save the best for last.
What? Hold on. Ajibola just said it. Ajibola's, I didn't say it.
Neither did I.
I didn't say it.
Let's put that on record.
Let me just drop one of these truth bombs here for that comment. Awesome. Well, you know what? We have a little bit of fun. Yesterday, actually, there was the Steel Pan Showcase.
Ooh.
Up on the north side of the city, there, Northeast Park. And Danny, my Saturday partner in crime, she was hosting it. And fantastic turnout. Steel Pan performances from guys from Toronto, Cayman Islands, Calgary, Regina, Lloyd Minister, of course, Trincan. Pepper Seed was in the house.
Nice.
And so it was great to see that showcase of, Trini culture.
Mm-hmm.
They made sure to stress that the Steel Pan is not from Jamaica.
You always have to set you straight.
Yeah.
Always have to. Well,
I don't blame them, though. Honestly, I really don't.
yeah. I mean, we are trying to claim it in Jamaica.
Yeah.
But somehow people think it's a Jamaican thing. I don't know.
Nah, it's Trinidadian, and I love when they do it. I love their performance of it,
Yeah, they did a really, really, really good job. So really good turnout. Carrie West was in the building,
Nice.
running the bar, and definitely the crowd size, I'd say doubled or tripled from last year, and this was just the second year they did it.
Ooh.
So
it's now an annual event, like every year is something we can look forward
yeah,
to.
now it's an annual event.
Definitely adding that to my calendar.
Yeah, so next summer, Steel Pan Showcase.
Duh, definitely won't miss.
Yeah, so shout out to you, Danny, for putting on a great event. Has anyone you guys want to shout out as we get things going?
Yeah, so the BJSA, the members of the BJSA team, back at UFA, and also the execs, and there are two key members that they might be listening right now. More than likely, they're listening right now. So I just want to send shout out to my good friends Steven and Portia. They were tuned in last week, and I feel like they're tuned in right now. So hey guys.
Yeah, if you guys are on, especially if you're on Facebook, feel free to leave a note, message in the chat, make a comment. We do try to get to all the comments during the course of the show.
Yeah.
How about you, Mr. Gibbs?
Yeah, I also want to do a special shout out to Andrea.
Oh.
Andrea always listens to everything. Yeah, to Andrea, to my friend Zainab, and to all my friends around the town.
Big support, man. Big
Nice,
support.
nice. We love it. Well, Like I said, in the description of the show, this is part 2 of our conversation on the international student experience. And last week was a great little chat, kind of getting warmed up, I'd say.
Yeah.
This week we might tackle some of the heavier topics.
Ooh.
Yeah, I went easy on y'all last week.
What?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, that was easy.
I know, right? Like,
That was
okay.
easy. But one of the things that came up, especially after we went off air, had to do with Allana's, I guess, your first experience as an international student.
Yeah.
Going to a place that people don't often think of going to.
You have to go there.
It's not on the radar. It's one of those,
Unusual.
like someone suggests it to you and you're like, well,
Yeah, like I'll think about it or I'll circle back.
I saw Hunt for Red October and I watched these other things. I don't know if it's for me necessarily, but you were just like,
Just dive right in.
yeah. And if you're wondering where she went, she was in Siberia.
Icy cold Siberia.
That's
Like,
cold.
yeah, honestly.
That's cold.
If you think Alberta, if you think Edmonton is cold, gosh, man, Siberia in 2015, 2016, that was freezing cold. That was icy. There are multiple moments where I could not feel my feet. I could not open my eyes or even close my eyes because they're like frozen in that position.
Mm-hmm.
And even my nose, my nostrils, they were like covered in frost. So it was so challenging to breathe. If you see me walking outside, you would not recognize me. I was covered. Okay, I
Just
had
wrapped up.
tied up, everything, and I was still freezing. That's the
Allana, tell me the truth. What did you do to get to Siberia?
Yeah, how does that conversation even come up, right? Like,
all right. So similar to your experience of moving to Toronto, right? My dad.
I didn't have a choice.
I kind of didn't. My dad came home one day with some papers in his hand, and he's like, "Okay, you're gonna fill out this application, and you're gonna write this essay, and you're going to give it back to me in such and such time." So I was like, "All right, cool." And he's like, "I know you love chemistry, so this has something to do with chemistry, right?" So at first I thought it was chemical engineering. I'm like, all right, I didn't fully understand chemical engineering, what it entails, but it has the word chemistry in it, chemical. So I'm like, you know what, fine, let me go and do that. And I read the details, I read the fine print, and I realized I'm going to Russia. But the thing that interested me most was that I was getting a stipend while I was studying. So in my mind, I was like, I'm getting paid
So
to
you
study.
went for the money.
I was like, I'm going on an adventure and I'm getting paid for it. Like, why not?
Yeah.
So I did everything and I was like, all right, full speed ahead. I think that caught my parents off guard though, because after a while, after I submitted the application, after I got approved and everything, and it's like, it clicked to them that I am relocating to the other side of the world, to the icebox of the world, right?
The icebox
of the world.
Literally, like, it's the place where they send their worst prisoners.
Yeah.
That's why I was
It's an
asking
internment camp.
And I was underage. I was like 17 at the time. So my parents, when it clicked to them that I'm actually doing this, they're like, ooh, do you really want to do this? Like,
It was your idea.
I remember they sat me down and they're like, well, I mean, I don't think this is right. I don't think this is the best direction for your path for you, And I'm like, parents.
I got this.
Come on.
I'm
Like,
an adult.
Exactly. I already got it. I did everything and it was successful. Have faith, man. Have faith. And so said, so done. They're like, all right, I'm not stopping you.
Yeah.
So I went through with everything and then I landed there. The thing is, I remember the first morning when, first of all, the journey there was exhausting.
20 hours.
20 hours? No, we traveled for almost 3 days.
What?
So, like, you fly from Kingston to where?
All right, we flew from Kingston to Germany.
Yeah.
And then I think it's Germany to Moscow. There was a flight in between, but I don't remember the country. But then went to Moscow.
Yeah.
And then we stayed in Moscow overnight so that we could like gear up for clothes. Because another important thing to note, we arrived there in December So that's the kickstart of winter for them.
Allana always chooses the right time to travel.
I know, right? Like, I don't know what's up with me and traveling in winter. But when we landed in Moscow and we felt the breeze and we saw the snow, we're like, ooh, all right, this is getting serious now. 'Cause it was a group of us. That's one thing I'm thankful for. It was 25 of us that left Jamaica together, and we went and tackled Russia together. So yeah, leaving Moscow, we did our shopping, went to Siberia, went to Krasnoyarsk, and even though they're in the same country, it's like a 5-hour flight, 5 to 6 hour flight. I remember stepping out of the bus, arriving at my dorm. I saw snow for the first time, so you know I'm excited, right? Girl went and going to snow and with her bare hands took up snow, like she's making snowball, like they see in the movies. So I'm like, I have a picture of that, right? Because they took a picture of me. So I'm like, ooh, snow, mush, mush. Then I started to feel my fingers.
Frostbite started to kick in.
And then I started to not feel my fingers. And I was like, what's happening? And we had tutors or curators at that time who were responsible for us. So when they saw me, they're like, girl, get inside. Just get inside. What are you doing? And that first night, all 25 of us, it was, after that long journey, it was such a struggle to sleep. But we still chilled with each other, we vibed with each other. We built a connection with each other from Jamaica. So when we arrived there, it was like maintaining a connection. The reality that hit me though was the next morning when I woke up and I was like, all right, let's take on Russia, let's take on the big world. But when I looked outside, I saw white and gray. That's all.
Yeah.
And I was like, it kicked in. That time it really kicked me down because I'm like, where's the trees? Where's the color? Where's the vibrant stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
just a frozen tundra.
It was just ice on the ground and all of their buildings are gray. Like, in my mind, I'm thinking doom and gloom. So I was like, what really happened? Where did I really take myself to? And that is, I had that feeling for most of the winter. But, you know, we went there with a goal. We tackled it. And we came home with that goal as successfully accomplished.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least a question as international students, like, you mentioned the parents. Now, Jibs and Allana, you guys can both tackle this. Like, how do you reconcile that with your parents and family back home going to another country and them, they will never fully understand what you're going through when you're there? How do you reconcile those differences and explaining to them and even just the fact that letting them know you're safe?
I think it's always a mixed bag because when you're an international student, it's always a process of getting there. So now you have the weight of expectations of your parents that, one, you've been successful getting there, and that's the excitement they have for you. So now you don't want to come back and say, oh, you know what, guys, I'm having these challenges. Because they're like, we were just so happy for you.
Exactly.
We're excited to see you go. But now you want to, and now you feel that weight of expectations because you also don't want to disappoint them. You also don't want to go back and say, I'm struggling. They're like, dude, we were praying for you.
Oh, no, there's like, back in my days, I used to walk to school and I used to struggle. I didn't have money for lunch and everything. So what do you mean? Like, you can do this. You know, that's the type.
And sometimes it's always like you literally have a generational burden on you. Like, well, I didn't get a chance to go to Siberia. I didn't get a chance to go to, at least you got a chance to go. So stop complaining, stop whining. You know, and it's just so hard to, I think it makes sense when your parents have been international students in those kind of places before, because sometimes they can be different, you know? And I've had friends, my parents, uncles who have told me, you know, when I was in the UK in the 60s, it was I was like, but you see, the thing about it though is that they also try, I think sometimes, to not tell you about the challenges. Because they're afraid that it might scare you. And then they talk about it later on. You know, they're like, oh, don't worry, we've been there, done that. Well, why didn't you tell me?
Exactly. You're like, I need the heads up.
Yeah, give me the heads up. I need some inoculation, right?
Exactly.
Like from Siberia to Edmonton.
Some preparation.
Just give me a little bit of prep.
Yeah,
that's
give me
all.
the heads up, you know?
And then, but then also like extending that to your friends as well. Because like you mentioned, like traveling with that group, you form a pact and a bond with people.
Yeah, like even up to now, that that bond is like so strong and firm. Even before I left for Canada, and I told them the emotions and the feedback I got from them, it was so positive. Even now, they're like still checking in. They're like, Allana, are you okay? If there's anything, give me a call. Some of them have migrated to America, so they understand the feeling of leaving a family again. So we still have that bond. And even in those first moments of arrival, we're still new to each other, fresh, because some of us were from different parts of Jamaica, right? But we saw that whenever we saw that someone is struggling or someone is rethinking their decision, we're always there to like bring them up and say, hey, we got this. We came here together. We're leaving here together. No man gets us behind. And that's what we did through the entire 5 years. We spent 5 years there, by the way.
5 years.
5 long years. But yeah.
How's your Russian?
Oh, it's pretty good, actually.
You could speak Russian. Come on. Flaunt a little. Just, yeah.
Yeah, hit me with a little something.
Приветик, друзья. Если мои друзья слышат сейчас, тогда я просто хочу сказать привет. Спасибо, что слышно.
Continue Zenza Wakandai.
I mean, yeah, we were there. You're in the culture, so you're kind of... We're excited to learn the culture
Well,
and
that's
be
part of it.
involved in the culture, you know? Like, we went everywhere. I ate beer. I tried horse. I tried...
You had what?
They had this thing like minced beer meat. My friend of mine brought home, and I tried it. It was actually... It tastes like corned beef, actually. It reminded me of corned beef.
Don't say that, too. You gotta have people back in Jamaica questioning the can of Grace corned beef. And they look at it.
And my friend brought it home, and he's like, all right, I tried it. Y'all gonna try it as well. Like, I'm not trying this by myself. And I tried it. It didn't taste bad. I tried horse. I went to another friend's house. It wasn't bad either, you know?
We got a comment in the chat from Latoya. The weight of expectations are always a huge factor. The weight was not only from parents, but also from the community, the village, who sees you as the first to accomplish something, or they live vicariously through you.
Yep.
That's true.
And Alex says the power of community does help with the homeless, that feeling of like homeostasis.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
And someone said, you are a bear. That was from Steven. you ate bear, sorry.
I mean, yeah, I wanted to see the bear, but unfortunately I only got to see him when he, passed
You
away.
ate the bear.
You had the beer.
And it tastes like corned beef.
I would eat it again with a bit more sauce, it wasn't bad. I was fully diverse in their culture.
Some fried dumplings.
Yes, And like even being in Russia, with that mindset, I had an idea of what to expect here, but I also knew what I did not want. I did not want to experience minus 40 degrees again.
And you came to Edmonton?
I saw online that the lowest it got was like minus 15. So that's what I saw, minus
Toronto.
15. I saw for Edmonton, Alberta.
Oh.
So I was like, all right, I can manage that. Minus 15 in Russia, that's good.
That's summer.
Yeah, right? But minus 40 for a week and you still have to go to school? It's not like here when they like close school. No, you still have to go to school. You still have to go about your day. They don't stop any of that. And even Russia, you get like a month of warmth, 2 months max of warmth. Here, we're good.
Yeah,
Weather here is good.
No, we get our little minus 50, like we'll do like a week straight. Yeah.
That's what you get when you take your travel advice.
I was shocked last winter when it got minus 30, minus 36 for a week. I was like,
well,
why?
let's hit it more after this.
This is CHH My Radio 580 AM, locally operated, locally owned, your own radio station, My Radio 580 AM, bringing Albertans together.
Yes, little boots on the ground. Getting your Sunday morning going. Hope we got you up, jumping and driving and ready to tackle the rest of the day. One question I wanted to put out to you guys. And in the news in the last while, international students have become like a political pawn.
Yep.
Political football. It's like hot potato.
Yep.
Right? What's the general feeling and vibe, I guess, one, as an international student yourself, and two, on campus, when politicians and mass media politicize and demonize international students? What are they missing?
So they're missing quite a lot. And one of the things I feel they're missing is that, first, Canada wants us here. Now, people don't realize the kind of marketing that goes into recruiting international students to Canada, right? Like I said last week, you literally have YouTube videos saying, oh, do you want to come to Canada for your professional whatever development and all of that? Also, there's a lot of marketing that goes into trying to get international students here because of the international charges, and also because Canada now seems to be like a good destination for international students in the international student market. So people are now looking towards Canada now and trying to separate themselves from the old destinations, which was America, the UK, and all of that. So there is always that's missing because locals don't understand that actually people actually invited you here. After landing, I must say, well, as compared to the people that are, oh, it's not you guys, right? It's not you guys, it's the other guys who are in the so-called brick and mortar, out of the way colleges, right?
Yeah.
But the thing about it is that no one knows the difference.
Yep.
People don't ask you what university you come from before they start to see you as an international student, you know? And it goes all around, really. And yeah, so I think there's always a lot that's missing in the conversation. It's also very, very, it's very easy, you know, to just make international students the problem of housing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, guys, international students really always have their money. They are the ones who don't want to get into trouble with their landlords.
That's
Exactly.
true.
Because they know they do not have any I mean, they have recourse on paper, you know, legally, but they don't even know when they have a recourse or not.
Yeah.
So they'd rather not try to find out.
Exactly.
Right? So they have to really be really, you know, top of their game, you know, in trying to make sure that the landlord doesn't throw them out because they don't have any other family members around to go to and all of that. It's just a lot, and there's always a lot missing in the conversation.
That's true. For me personally, I feel conflicted because every day I wake up and I'm seeing news reports of so much, I wouldn't say hatred, but so much negativity towards international students, towards the fact that it feels like we're not needed here. And then I'll see another article with this MP or someone else who is running for election, and they're like, okay, we need to increase our international students intake. We need to increase the support and for the international students. I'm like, do you want us here or you don't want us here? Because it seems like the people don't want us here, but it seems like you're using us to secure whatever for your benefit in the future. So, but ideally, that's just a move for your benefit. Is it something that you genuinely want, or you just want the benefit? So I honestly just feel conflicted.
Yeah. Now, when I was an international student back from 95 to 2000, we and our International Student Association that we had on campus, we moved as like a block.
Nice.
Like you couldn't like drive a wedge through. Like we were, at the end of the day, we were the International Student Association. Don't mess with us.
As it should be.
Does the negativity that comes at, because it's usually focused on one or two particular groups. Let's be real about it in the media.
Yeah.
Right? Do they realize that international students are still kind of like together as a group, regardless where they're from half the time? Or is there that divide and conquer that actually is happening on campus?
In regards to international students being together, honestly, even on campus, I personally feel like we're divided, but when it needs to be, we're united.
Yeah.
So there are moments where I would see articles from the campus or some release from the campus as an international group, and I'm like, all right, I know I'm part of this. I can feel that we're divided, but walking around, mostly, I feel like we're divided. So that's that.
Yeah, I think there is usually, I don't think community just happens by itself. I think community building is always a lot of work. And on our part, I think the difference though is that because I think we do have a larger undergraduate international student body.
Yeah.
And I feel like because we're no longer undergraduates, we're graduate students. So I think that the arrangement might be different for undergrads and graduate students because we have different programs, and the graduate program seems to be very individualistic.
Yep.
There's not so much group solidarity with international graduate studies because it looks like everyone got their own thing by themselves and they have to work with their professors and all of that.
Okay.
But the community building really then starts when people now have to build that community by themselves.
Yeah.
And I think that's why the BGSA and the GSA is very, very important in making sure that international graduate students have a support of the community. And it always does well when you have to build it from the ground up. In my mind, I think that's certainly how I feel about it.
Okay. Well, I mean, I can give you a FAFO moment from when I was at York University. I spent 1 year at York, and I got a job on campus working at student affairs, and my job was to help oversee the student body elections. And that year, there's always these kids that go to the different universities that have these university political aspirations where they want to be student president and head of students union, all these kind of things, right? And so that year, one of these people was up for running for the election, and the person that was running up against him was a black guy for student president. And then there was a South Asian fellow that was running for head of student union. And so the person that was all into their feelings about wanting to be president ever since Frosh Week got her friends that worked for the student paper to fire the Black Caucus of writers from the student paper. Then proceeded to say the other people, the other candidate, was automatically going to make this a racial issue, which he had no intention of doing.
Wow.
But when she did that, they found out real quick the power of the international student body.
Yay.
Because essentially it didn't matter what country you were from. If you were under the banner of the International Student Association, you knew what was going down.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It wasn't even close.
That's
the
wonderful
election.
support.
It wasn't. It was. They'd never seen a landslide victory like that at York University at that time.
Play with fire, get burned.
Oh yeah, and for the first time, they had a black leader of the student for the Student President Association, and the South Asian president for the student union.
Wonderful, I love that.
And it wasn't even. It was like, don't demonize us, don't come for us, because we will respond.
Exactly, I love that togetherness, and I was looking for something like that here because, as I said, moving from a group of 25 who was tackling Russia to coming here where it's just my husband and I, that was one of the things that I spent a lot of my energy trying to find or trying to receive, Thankfully, I found that with the BGSA. But even before that, I was looking for a broader spectrum or a broader community that I fall under because I know the umbrella that I fall under. I know that it's a bit obvious to others as well. So why not just tackle it together as a community, And then yeah, you have your own mini little avenues and streets and alleys within the community that you can go under, but at the end of the day, it's still one large community.
Big G, you're trying to drag me to where I don't want to go with all those international students, and
Oh, I'll take you into deep waters.
Deep water. Okay. Let's try to swim a little bit. Yeah. So what you said actually is very, very, very true, and it actually happened. In my experiences with the Graduate Student Association, and I think what happened in my own case was that, because I was an international student, right? And I saw that there was a portfolio that had a local student be in charge of international student portfolio, right? Yeah. And I didn't feel that was fair, because exactly. I was like, this person doesn't have the lived experience of having to apply for visas and having to be rejected and all of that. And I just didn't feel very, very particularly pleased with that divide and rule tactics, trying to pit domestic student with international student, because once they have the same portfolio, then international student will have to run against the local student, with that. And I felt that was very, very divisive, which I didn't like. And so I decided to throw my hat in the ring, as they call it. And that's when I realized that all politics can be very ugly. It doesn't matter whether it's Canada or in Pakistan.
Our student politics are
major. And that's when I realized that some things can be very in Canadian terms interesting.
Yes.
And I found out pretty quickly how interesting these things can be. And it was an eye opener for me. And to be honest, I think I was actually. Well, first, I was very disappointed, and second, I now became very, very sad about the whole situation. But I think what it taught me really is to sometimes lower your expectations.
Yep.
So Allana, I think we should just leave it there. It's been an interesting ride, I should say.
Well, I mean, it's all part of the experience, and it's all part of kind of what's in the news and also the on-campus life, because how do you deal with people that are intentionally trying to put these walls and barriers up between folk? And to me, it's always good to see when there is a moment where they realize, nah, you can't get away with that.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm just looking forward to that moment, and I'm still waiting for that moment to kick in, though.
To kick in.
But I'll be honest, I think it's those periods that you really know your allies, right?
Yeah.
Those are the times when you really know who are with you and those who are not. I think the experience has actually really tested the metal, about who can you call allies and who you cannot.
Well, let's talk more about it after this.
This is CHH My Radio 580 AM, locally operated, locally owned, your own radio station, My Radio 580 AM, bringing Albertans together.
I know somewhere in Jamaica, Latoya was dancing to that one.
I don't blame her.
But Latoya's got a comment here. So that's exactly how social change is accomplished, Ajibola. Recognizing the gaps in the system and seeking to fill them. Always expect resistance when you try to challenge the status quo.
Oh, who said that?
Strong words.
Oh, yeah.
Very strong.
Latoya is on fire.
Oh, yeah. But she's right. That's how that's how change is accomplished.
Yeah, small steps lead to big things in the future, Still moving forward.
Yeah, that's Sage Allana right there.
Now, but you're making a point before we go on to the break, Jibs. You want to keep going on that?
Yeah, I was talking about the importance of allies. I think it's very, very important to really know where you can get the support from.
Yeah.
Because you really can't do it all by yourself. You really still need domestic allies. You need people who know the system very well, and you need people to sometimes hold your hand, through the system. And I think it helps to be able to get that support when you need it, to be able to navigate the system better, so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel, so to say. And yeah, I think that support is really very critical for international students to have.
Super critical.
Yeah.
For me, one key thing that he mentioned was lower your expectations.
Don't go back there.
Oh, please expound on that one.
I'm sorry, I was triggered because I've been lowering my expectations since I got here. With everything, like with what I expected from here, from people, from professionals. And I just realized that how I view them or how I thought they would respond, forget that, man. Throw that through the window. That's not happening. The lowest, not even, I don't want to say the lowest because I don't want to make them look bad, but still, it's like the outcome that you actually get from them is way far from what you expected. Not just because they're an individual, but because they're a professional, right?
Yeah.
Not because you know them personally or whatever, but just because they're professional. You gotta like lower that, and I think that's a key thing internationals have to remember when coming here. You deserve to be in the room just as everyone else. I think a motivational speaker that talked to us, she mentioned that her name is Lisa. And
Shout out to Lisa Dublin.
Shout out to Lisa because I never forget that. The moment she said that when I just started BJC, and I never forgot that because we belong here just as much as everyone else. And when you come and realize that who they are and the expectations you have of them is not the reality, the fact that you can you're on the same level as them or you can even do just as much as them, when that kicks in, unstoppable, man.
Good.
Unstoppable.
Well, I mean, one of the that harkens back to, so I went to Meadowbrook High School in Jamaica, and our principal, Dr. Morris, there's one thing that she made sure in her tenure, she stamped on literally the soul of every student that walked through the door, is her mantra, you're as good as any and better than many.
Powerful words.
And everyone from Meadowbrook, from that generation of Meadowbrook, knows that, believes that, walks it. You meet someone from Meadowbrook, you know what era of Meadowbrook they're from. Some people call it cocky and arrogant. It's like, no.
You need that sometimes.
I'm just as good as you.
Exactly. Like, it speaks of volumes, honestly, wherever you go. If you always have that and always carry that with you, and sometimes you can radiate that with others, person can absorb that. When you share that, unstoppable, man. That's powerful. And I think everyone needs to know that.
I especially tell that to newcomers that I get a chance to talk to tell them, guys, listen, it doesn't matter what you go through, you have already gone through more than most. Because what happens is that not a lot of people have the chance to pack their things and move to another country.
Another side of the world.
That's another set of challenge that not a lot of people would ever experience in their life. So you're doing much more than most already by the fact that you're an international student. And that no one can take away from you. At least now you have, at the minimum, two perspectives about things, at the minimum. All right. And so that's something you really need to hold on to and be proud of, because now you are a citizen of two cultures now, and now you can compare and contrast and say, okay, this is good, this is bad, you can compare and contrast, and having that sort of judgment and that lens makes you, I think it's a good place to be in mentally, to be able to stand up to different things,
And Latoya says in the chat, yes, Allana, we all deserve to be global citizens. Walk with your shoulders high, knowing you deserve to occupy the space.
Occupy, take over, be there.
Talking of global citizenship, that's another place we need to go. Maybe. Yeah. So I've always thought of myself to be a cosmopolitan, a global citizen and whatnot. But it's very, very hard to be a global citizen when you're black. And I'll say that,
Let me drop one of these.
Right, because just over some weeks ago, I was trying to book a flight to Kenya, where I'm going to be spending some few days, And I realized that it was very hard for me to get flights just because. Now, because I wanted to fly through Europe, and then I need a transit visa, which would cost me so much more. And then I tried to get British Airways, and it was another, story. And I literally have to make my decisions based on the different kinds of limitations that was already imposed on me. Now, I can be all cosmopolitan in my head all I want, but there is still a system that you really have to navigate around. And it's just so much harder, right? It's not impossible, but it's very much harder to
and exhausting.
And exhausting too.
Yep. 'Cause even with Russia, that was one of the main challenges that I faced, and that was one of my main factors that impacted my decision moving here, right? Because traveling from Russia back to Jamaica, if you want to visit between those 5 years, it's out of pocket. That was minimum 2,000 US, right? And even the more affordable route or the faster route was through US or through, I think Turkey, France, all around the world, right? That would require visas. That was hectic. And I was like, all right, coming to Canada, after that experience, I'm saying wherever I go, I want to be able to come back home within a 1 flight or 2 flights. I want to be able to afford to come back home and say, all right, if I want next week, I'm back home. I don't want to have to be saving up for years just for one plane ticket, for one trip back home just to see my family. No, that was a very major part of my decision here, coming here.
Yeah, I think it also factors in the decisions that a lot of international students make to come to Canada to be international students. Because at least when they're in Canada, they're able to access other countries easier. Yeah, I think that's also a very big factor that Allana mentioned.
Well, no, that's an interesting point about the global citizenship. I mean, I remember when I was in Japan, I was still Jamaican. I didn't have my Canadian papers yet. They were being processed. But then when I realized I could fly to Korea without a visa on my Jamaican passport, I was like, what?
Yeah.
This is great. And then, speaking of global citizenship, I went to Fiji for a wedding.
Nice.
And I'm in the line at Fiji, in the thing. And there's just me, the one black guy, and all white tourists.
Hey.
Security walks over to me, because he's hella confused. That's right? Right? And so he's like, why are you in this line? I'm like, well, I'm a tourist. He's like, let me see your passport. Gave him my passport. He walks away with my passport.
Wow.
I'm standing there like, where's he going?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
He walks up to the front, speaks to someone, comes back over to me, says, come with me.
Oh, wow.
He walks me to baggage, pick up my thing, walks me through the airport, gives me my passport, says, enjoy your trip.
What?
I'm like, okay, cool.
So VIP treatment or something?
I got, VIP valet service, get my bags and off the airport and bypass all the lines, everything.
I mean,
well, that's Fiji. That's the Fiji experience, guys. But I know other countries, when they take you off the line, they're taking you straight to security.
I know. I was like, where am I going?
Because another experience that brought back memories. So shout out to one of my friends from Russia group as well. When we were traveling the first time, one of my friends, he wore a tam from Jamaica. You know the tams have the Rasta colors and it has the wheat symbol at the front, right? I don't remember which country we were in, if it was Germany or Moscow, but they saw him and they pulled him aside. Now imagine we're traveling as a group and then all of a sudden
one person's gone.
He's missing. And they didn't tell us that he was missing or anything. And we had one curator or someone who was with us, travel guide, and he spoke Russian, so he was responsible. So he's like panicking now because where did they take him? And we had to stay there for a while and wait, and they questioned him, they drilled him just because of the colors of the tam that he was wearing. And this poor young man, he was terrified, shaking. I was like, oh my gosh, imagine that.
Well, we are 8 to the hour 8. Man, time goes by quickly. Alric had a thing. How does one tackle the dissonance where you know the value that you bring to the table, but you are othered when you're in spaces where they feel that because you are the what? The phenotype, along with being labeled an international student, you get devalued. Almost to a blank slate. How does that play out mentally?
Yeah, I'm still struggling with that one, honestly, because remember, I'm coming from -100 with that one.
Yeah.
So It's just the words of Lisa. You belong there. You belong in the space. You're bringing something with you that probably other persons don't have. So I'm just repeating that in my mind every time I'm in a room, and I'm like, all right, Allana, speak out. So probably right now I'm at like 1.
Yeah.
But when I get to 50 or 60, I'll let you know.
That's all right. That's all right. We're here for it. We're here for it. How about you, real quick, Jibs?
Yeah, I think community is very important. I think you always need to be in people in spaces that support you, that affirm you. That's really so critical, because if you do not have that, you might lose yourself in the sauce. You know, it's really very important to have that support of affirmation all the time.
Awesome. Well, we'll leave it there for now. This was a great conversation. I thank you guys for coming in for part 2 of that one. Did we take you into deep waters, Jibs?
Yes. Yeah, I try to wait a little.
I think you learned to swim.
And those waters weren't those were the shallows, man.
No, can I tell you?
Yeah, but I'll be back next week, Friday, with Special K with the next 48. Of course, next Saturday, me and Danny will be here with the Weekend Morning Show. And, of course, we're here on Sunday to unpack a few more things. Are you guys coming back next week?
I mean, is the invitation there? Or?
Invitation's always there, bro. I mean, message all our crafters. Hey, what are we doing next week? Till then, y'all, we're going to take you out with the more from Peter Ram with All Are We. As I said, it is a countdown to Carrie West in a couple weeks. Hope you got your costumes. Hope you're ready to party on Jasper Avenue and Churchill Square. Till then, guys, thanks for joining us in studio.
Oh,
I'll see y'all next time on Let's Unpack That.